The assessment initiative at Hawkeye is something that's not new, and every institution of higher education has to conduct assessments of student learning. That's a requirement for our accreditation.
We had a report from our external accreditors that we had to ramp up our assessment activities. They wanted us to really increase the number of courses and faculty who are doing assessments.
And by doing this, we find opportunities for continuous improvement.
Requirements for assessment for faculty is to identify what they want to assess, do the assessment, perform the assessment, and then turn in the results of that assessment and determine what their next steps are.
Using the results of that assessment to make changes that they think will improve student learning, but then going back and reassessing to see what was the impact that that change actually had on student learning.
The assessment process has gone very smoothly for me, and honestly it's something that we're already all doing in our classrooms both formally and informally. We do something, we check to see if our students understand it, we adjust, we try again. And this simply provides some documentation to the process.
So the new assessment process at Hawkeye, fairly simple introduction and implementation for me. It did not take any more time or energy than what I was already doing.
I chose to look at my diversity in the media course, and I wanted to see if my students were understanding the media theories that I was teaching them in that course. So what I did is I looked at a chunk of their final exams. I set a target goal for what scores I wanted them to get on that section, and then I pulled the data and I saw that my students were actually a little bit under that score. So for the next semester, I made some changes. I did more activities, we talked about the theories a little bit more, and we applied class content directly back to those. So it was a little bit more intentional of my teaching of those theories. And it showed when I looked at the exams that it was really effective. The target scores went up with just those simple tweaks that I did.
For my assessment project, I chose an acronym that I use for helping students remember all the steps they go through when they start with a new digital camera. Before, I would just go through it in class and then we would have a quiz and then that would be it. Once I knew we were going to be assessing on it, I did a pre-quiz to see what they knew, did the instruction, and then did the post-quiz. And that was my assessment project for that semester. The next semester, did the same pre-quiz. I added some different instruction in between and saw the improvement right away with that.
As for benefits that I see in my teaching, I see a couple of things. First of all, I'm more intentional in my teaching itself. It's in the back of my mind all of the time.
I think the assessment process improves me as a teacher. I'm more mindful of what I'm doing, and not just in this one instance. I think that's one of the key things I took away from it was.
And it also revitalizes my teaching. When we teach the same course over and over, we can fall into a little bit of a rut, and this helps break us out of that rut, I think. It forces us to try new things.
The benefits for the assessment process, one, it helps us with our external accreditation, but two, I think it helps us pick up things that our own intuition as instructors might miss.
Sometimes it helps them a little more tangibly see the outcomes of their students' learning. Oftentimes we find instinctually we think we know what our students are learning, we know if they're getting it, but sometimes that can really reveal when you go through an assessment cycle whether or not students are in fact learning some things, and that can both reaffirm our confidence in the way that we're teaching and our way our students are learning, or it can sometimes reveal some deficiencies in ways that we hadn't understood before.
I think the benefit of the students is just more directed teaching.
My students see quite a few benefits, I think, from doing this process. I'm getting better behind the scenes. They don't know that. They're just getting a better version of me each semester as I go.
Before, where yes, I was getting to it, but it was rolling into other parts of it, and now I tend to break stuff up a little bit more and try a little bit different technique with each one, repeated delivery of some things and things like that. So I think just more directed teaching is the benefit to the students.
Not only do individual instructors benefit from that, but the college as a whole can more confidently, show our stakeholders that our students in fact do learn the things that we say that they'll learn.
The benefits of assessment to Hawkeye Community College are that it does indicate the value we place on quality education. It is an indicator that students are truly learning what we claim that they should be learning. And it really is something that shows that we care, I think, about students.
I've been really pleased with the general reaction by faculty members. It's been very, very positive. You're always concerned when you're asking faculty, who are always doing quite a bit, to do yet more. But we tried to design this process to be relatively lightweight, to be relatively simple, and indeed people have responded in a very positive way.